So here's a question that I ask a lot of my clients that love to create content. If I just said to all of you, I've cleared your calendars for the next month, all the same money is going to come in and you're not going to have any headaches, everything's going to happen. And then I start to talk to them about, what are you going to do with your time? What I typically hear, not always, is, there's this 5th book I was going to write, but you're only up to your 2nd, right? Or there's this other research I want to do, or there's this article I want to write, or I want to do this video, I was thinking about that. So all the content related stuff, and I said, well, that's cool. Nobody's telling me about marketing. Nobody's telling me about deepening relationships with their customers. Nobody's telling me about developing a strategic channel or a distribution channel. And by the way, if you were in any other business and you've been doing it for 10, 20, 30 years, everything that you've created would be considered an asset. Right? So if you were in the real estate business and really loved the part where you build stuff, but didn't really like the part about renting and selling and all that, you'd be broke pretty quickly. But in the content business, you can constantly create and sort of get away with it. Take some time and go back and look at what you've got. You've got assets. They're sitting idle on a hard drive, on a shelf, or whatever. We live in a time now that's amazing. We have the fastest growing management class in the history of the world in Brazil, Russia, India, and China. What does that mean? That means that content that we look at from 20 years ago, 25 years ago, and say, oh, that's so like 1990s or whatever, they're eating that stuff up. There are licensing deals going on all across the globe right now, and it's not giving stale things to people. It's giving, everybody should read Tom Peters. Everybody should read Peter Drucker. Everybody should be exposed to Brian Tracy's content. Hello, Brian. Right? That stuff is valid, it's strong. Just because you've seen it and you've sort of grown up with it, doesn't mean that it's stale. There's other markets for it, and they're growing and growing and growing and growing.